Last time on the Empire's Edge.
It's gonna blow. It's gonna explode. We gotta get out of here. Get out of here. Get out.
Watch out for the lizard. Don't step on it backwards. Are we afforded a perception check to see if we hear?
Pick a platform. Get into one.
Right when that happens, there is a massive explosion.
And the tattered carcass of Boris goes on the opposite wall.
Boris, where are you? Hit point wise.
Oh, 3.
Wow.
You have 3 hit points left?
Yeah.
This is stressing me out.
You can see at the edge of your vision that there is a barricade.
Be on alert. That looks man-made.
There are 2 bugbears that are in openings in this tangle and jumble.
Max damage, 16 points.
Ooh, yeah, brutal. You cut them like from crotch to eyeball with that thing.
Do you guys like killing things? I bet you have fun killing things. Wouldn't it be nice to have killed something? I look around on the ground for a bug that I can squash.
But then coming down from that control chamber stairway, you can see there are more bugbears. They must have heard your battle, and they're waiting for you to approach them. As you're approaching those 3 bugbears, you can see bugbears. Ruh-roh, bugbears.
I thought they were bro bears.
No, they're not very friendly. They're not rushing to meet you. Mm-hmm. It looks as though they're expecting you to come out of the tunnel. If you've come through that end of the tunnel, then you must have gone through their barricade and their guys at the other end of it. So they're waiting for you. So what I'm picturing right now is a slow approach on both sides. They're like unlimbering weapons, swinging them back and forth, stretching them behind their back. And from their perspective, they're ready to crush the 3 of you.
Do you think there's any way we could talk to them?
Yeah, so are they saying anything? Or they're just
no? Okay. So how close are they?
Within bow range.
Yeah, that's right.
Are they within 60 feet?
They're about 60 feet away at this point, yes.
Okay, I would like to cast Lasden's Light, because then they glow and we get the advantage of
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, fairy fire.
Fairy fire.
So, well, let's treat it like an init, just so we can get an order of operation what's happening here.
Ooh, what a good way to start.
All right.
Ah, you stole my luck.
Ooh, I'm good too.
All right, so...
I'm 21 unnatural.
I'm 24.
Wait, what's the actual...
18 plus 3, right?
Okay, yeah. So yeah,
Natural 20 plus 4, 24.
Natural 2 plus 2 is 4.
Well,
you're the cleanup crew.
Yeah, I get that. And where they are. Got it. So, Jacob, you are up.
All right. Per usual, casting Hunter's Mark on... I'll go with the middle guy.
All right, got it.
Mark him as my quarry.
So I'm not allowed to cast Fairy Fire first.
No.
Because of the initiative. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice alliteration, though.
Fairy Fire first. All right. 23 to hit.
Hits.
Nice. So that is a nice 13 points of damage.
Well done.
Great.
He takes it. And then it's Zelen at 21.
I cast Fairy Fire or Uko's Light.
All right.
Lasden's Light?
Sorry, Lasden's Light.
Right.
Thank you. Somebody's Light.
The god's brightness.
Light.
Now, remind us, is there any kind of a save?
Yeah, they do have a dexterity save.
All right. You roll those things. Oops.
Yeah.
And what's the DC?
13.
14.
Wait a minute, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
2 make it. 1 fails it.
Which one failed it?
The middle one.
Hey!
Okay, so we've got 1 who's outlined.
1 is outlined, right. All right, and that was at 21. Zelen, bugbears are next. With that, it looks like they only have melee weapons on them, and they break into a full run charging in your direction.
All right.
So they are closing in this round and won't be able to attack you guys until next round.
Gotcha. Make a note of their
Okie
speed,
dokie.
Boris.
which means you can meet them.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take a bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Got it.
And then moving to engage with nearest and attacking.
Okay, so you see Boris break out from the line of the 3 of you, and somewhere halfway in between, boom, and let's take right or left. Which one you pick yourself on? Left one, okay.
Okay, 19 versus armor class.
And that is definitely a hit.
And I will spend a spell slot to make this a Divine Smite. So that's 12 physical and 10 points radiant.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
He is not dead, but
He wants to be.
he is nominated.
Yeah, right.
That was an excellent hit.
And I've got a spell slot left for later shenanigans.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And then top of the round or top of the next round.
I made a
Or
realization.
rather, I am now out
Oh.
of spell slots because
Gotcha.
I think I did the smite in the last fight
Oh,
as well.
yeah,
so.
yeah, you did.
My hunter's mark actually lasts up to an hour. So assuming that the combat we just had at the in the tunnel was less than an hour ago,
Right.
So actually, I still have that spell running, so I didn't have
Bugbears
to
are
cast
still
it again.
yeah,
Cool. Yeah. So
Yeah, you just use a bonus action to reassign it.
Yep. So
exactly.
And bugbears are preferred things for
yeah,
you.
but
huh?
it doesn't do anything with damage. It's just
Oh.
my ability to track them and get information from them.
Oh.
Okay,
yeah,
but Jacob,
so-
you are up.
Firing on the same guy again, and now he's outlined and below his hit point maximum. Correct.
Correct.
First one is another 23, but did I crit? I did not. So 23 to hit for copious amounts of damage. 8.
That's our favorite damage roll.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That'd be great. A 20-sided die or something. That
Yeah,
says,
20 just
says
says
copious.
And that'd be 15 points of damage.
Wow, and what'd you do the first round?
12?
Good
Something like that?
grief.
Yeah.
12 sounds right.
Yeah, it does. That's
You'd need a d20, though, like twice the size of your fist, so each face on it is big enough for the word copious.
But you drop it and just go straight through the table.
Yeah, right.
well, he had 27 hit points exactly, and you did 12 and 15.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
yes.
27 exactly. Incredible. So that guy, middle one, he's glowy on the floor. And he drops. He looks very pretty in his death. And then Zelen.
I'm going to throw a dart at the one who has not yet been hit.
All right, so they're closing. Yeah, I'd say that's within your dart range.
And 9.
And that is a miss.
Darn.
Dart goes wide.
Oh, wait a minute. No, what? Wait a minute. Sorry. I looked at the wrong number. 11.
Is still a miss.
Darn.
It comes back around
And then,
and then goes back.
Bugbear on Boris. Boris,
All
what's
right.
your armor class?
Nice
20
alliteration.
now.
Nice. 20.
Yeah.
Good grief. And he swings at you and misses with a morning star. He misses.
All right.
And then the last one had closed. It's either going to be on Jacob 1, 2, 3 or Zelen 4, 5, 6. Zelen, you're being attacked.
Dang it.
I'm glad they don't see me as the threat.
They're stupid bug.
Kill the witch! Kill the witch!
Not the guy shooting the pokey things. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 14.
Ooh. And it rolls a 13.
Oh, yes!
And
Nice.
All right, Jacob.
Gotcha.
Not quite.
Oh, sorry, Boris.
There we go. There's someone else in the party.
And that's a 15 versus armor class.
And that hits. Oh, I apologize. That misses by 1. It's a 16 armor class.
Sneaky.
Yeah. I was looking at its strength for some reason. I don't know why.
I would have hit its strength.
Jacob.
Which one has already taken damage, or have they both already?
They've both taken damage. The one on Boris has taken significant damage. The one
Yeah,
that's on
handle the one that's on
Zelen
Zelen.
has
Yeah,
barely
I'll-
taken.
I'll help Zelen
Help
out.
me!
All right, firing at that guy.
Popsicle?
13.
Misses.
All right, me.
Yes, Zelen, you're
Bonus
up.
action. I'm casting Shillelagh, and I'm going to whack it with my walking stick.
All right, roll it.
Oh, 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do I miss it with my stick?
Definite miss. And then
Same way I missed with my sword.
And then the Bugbears first on Boris. Yes. Into the 20s. That's a 21. And it hits you with Morning Star. Morning Star damages 2d8 plus 2 for this thing.
Just
His
a d20, and
shenanigans.
instead of a 20, just says yes.
Yes. 13 points of damage.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And then the
Feel
one
that one
attacking
tomorrow morning.
the one attacking no, not in 5e.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you really don't.
Tomorrow morning, you actually feel great.
Even better. Zelen,
There
you're
isn't
being
even a
attacked.
cut.
And rolled a modified 20. Armor
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. So you were like a armor class 16.
14.
I believe the term you're
14.
looking for is unnatural.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
right.
an unnatural 20, yeah. And you take 8 points of damage. Oh, sorry, 9. I gotta do math. Basic math.
999.
999, I'm dead!
999. Jesus.
She disappeared.
Are we fighting a bugbear demigod?
Suddenly.
All right,
I'd
so
like
we're
to
back
roll to
to...
retreat.
No, we're back to Boris.
Oh, come on, Boris. Kill.
Sick 'em.
Yeah, right. And a natural 13 for a 21.
Yes,
That
you
ought to
Turn
hit
in your
him.
favor. For another 13 points of damage.
Oh yeah, he's like deep into the dead zone.
Okay, move action to move into melee with the last survivor.
All right, you're in that move action. Next round.
And
Jacob, top
take
of the
another
round.
shot. 14.
Is a miss.
Dang.
Zelen.
I'm hitting with the shillelagh again.
You're going to try to.
20. Unnatural.
Hits.
Sorry, that was loud.
What is it good for?
And this, I believe, is the first time this guy's been hit.
Yes.
Yeah, remarkably.
9 points of damage.
All right, he takes it, but he is most definitely still combative.
Yeah, but he has a big bump on his head now.
He does.
Look
And
beyond
then-
what you see.
And then the bugbear.
Does me moving to engage with him change who he's attacking?
It might, Rabbit. It might. Let's take a look. So we'll do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again.
Oh, darn. He's not going to try and run past both of them to get to me.
Yeah, yeah, really. Somehow the 6-sided
That's a
rolls a 7. It lands right on its pointer on one of the edges, and it attacks Jacob.
Yeah. Provokes attacks.
Inexplicably, it is on Zelen.
Dang it.
Where are you hit point wise?
He just doesn't like magic users.
Less than what I should be.
Well, then you need to stop subtracting more than his
18.
damage.
He rolls a 19 on his hit. And you take 11 to 13 points of damage.
Dang.
Looking bad. Jacob. I'm sorry, Boris.
There we go.
I keep doing that.
Yeah, right.
Boris.
Micah Matt. Okay, natural 14 for a 22.
Hits.
For another 13 points of damage.
It's taken. He is still combative.
All right, now Jacob.
Come on, Jacob,
Now
kill
Jacob.
it.
Sick him.
I'm going to roll this dice as hard as I can. Oh, my God.
I'm going to kill you, Harry Potter.
It's another 14.
And that is another miss.
Yeah.
Just shattering arrows against the wall over behind this
I'm
thing.
going to need to make some new
Zelen,
arrows.
this is pretty critical.
Natural 20!
Turn
All right.
down the headphone volume for just a second.
So
Yeah, right.
roll
So
Now that you've
then I
peaked
get
everyone's-
2. I get to roll 2.
two
Yeah,
dice, right?
2d8, yeah.
2d8s.
Or just the same d8 twice.
Either way.
Another 9 points of damage.
And it is dead.
Yes!
Nice.
He was down 2-5 at that point. All right, all three are dead, but even before there's time for this commotion to be ending, right about as it ends, you can't help but notice there are silhouettes that are approaching the tunnel from the outside. And as you look in that direction, you can see there's a number of bugbears that are out there. One looks significantly larger or closer than the rest of them. And as you are like reorienting to face into that direction, what looks to be, must be a tribal chief or some kind of a clan champion, because he's a pretty big bugbear. A lizard leaps down from above your view, as though it was somewhere above the tunnel itself on the outside, on a ledge of rock, whatever, leaps down and lands on this guy.
Oh, wow.
So
Bad day.
let me do a
That's
roll.
not good.
And as they get engaged in that combat, this chief tries to hit it with his own weapon, a Morning Star, and doesn't seem to be doing very, very well with attacking it. And then on the return, this lizard opts to try to, it looks like bite him or swallow him whole. Within a moment, this giant chief, this big bugbear chief, is partially in the mouth of this lizard. And the other bugbears themselves seem kind of stunned, like they're holding back for a moment. And roll a direction. The lizard itself, as it's swinging around, lashing its tail around, the bugbears that are outside just, almost instinctively back off from what's happening. But that movement spins the giant lizard into the edge of the tunnel itself. And you can see that this bugbear is trying to fight this lizard as it's partially inside its mouth.
I'm gonna move to engage on the lizard.
Yeah, common enemy. That's
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Well, and can we do things first because it's not focused on us? So do we have to roll in nits, or can we
well,
just?
it's still in combat over there. So for our actions that we need to know when they're going to happen, we would have to roll
It'd
nits too.
It'd probably be new in
I
this.
thought we could all just
But it's-
shoot at it.
But it's a great question.
Yeah.
But let's roll new inits.
Okay.
Yeah, free action telling Selen, hey, let's stay out of melee combat this time.
Hey,
I didn't mean to get
Maybe
into it
heal
last
yourself.
time.
18.
Yeah.
16.
Much
21.
better. All right. So
So I can roll really well on my
Jacob.
initiative.
Boris, Lizard, Bugbear, then Lizard, and then Zelen. All right. So Jacob, you're up first.
Gotcha. It is, I'm assuming, within 150 feet.
Oh yeah. It's just at the end of the tunnel, which is only about 50 or 60 feet away from you guys.
Gotcha. Firing on it with my bow. Oh my god! That's a great way to start this. That is a natural 20.
Excellent.
So there's where all the luck was from all those misses.
Oh my gosh, that's
It was your turn.
You were just saving. You were being tactical.
awesome.
All right, come on. Big
So,
damage. Big
I-
damage.
I don't think I get to double. I think I only double the damage dice for the bow. I don't get to also roll that Colossus damage again for my.
If it's I don't think you get to roll it twice, but if it's below its hit point maximum, you'd still be able to add that bonus.
Yeah, I think it only doubles the D8 that the bow does.
Yeah,
it doesn't
That's
double
correct.
anything
It
else.
only doubles the
base
D8, right?
weapon
I need
damage.
to
And
borrow
it
a-
looks to be at its max hit points. It looks as though the
you.
Bugbear tried to hit it but missed, and it missed really well.
Is it below its hit point maximum?
It is not.
Oh, darn. Okay. Well, darn.
Darn, yeah.
All right. 10, 14 points of damage.
Great hit.
Nice. Thank you.
And then Boris.
I'm going to take a move action, and rather than dash, I'm going to use Lay on Hands to heal myself somewhat, so I'm coming into this combat better hit point wise.
Okay, so what's your new total?
Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm still really low level. With 15 points back. Actually, yeah, no, I'm going to be at max because I was down 15.
Perfect.
Nice.
And
That'll
then
work.
the Bugbear is attacking the thing partially in this thing's mouth. It hits it.
I'm not sure why we needed the ominous silence for that.
Sorry, I was finding my spot on my page. And
But that's what the attack makes, is he's attacking the inside of its throat.
no, he's like partially in it, and he's like trying to bash it on the outside as he's partially like, in it on the inside.
Oh, so not Drax from the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
No, not
or
like that at all.
Like trying to kick it in the
Okay.
uvula.
So
Get it to throw
he
him
does
up.
damage to it. So now the thing's below
Yeah,
its
so I just
toe.
need to-
Well, yeah, it was
Yeah.
because
Because
he
he
shot
did
it.
damage.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. And then the lizard is actually trying to do
Yeah.
additional attack.
I'd like to roll to chew.
Masticating?
Yeah, right.
All right, so it's going to be a tail attack, and I have so many targets right around here. It's actually opting to try to lash at one of the bugbears that was approaching from the
And
outside.
for once, the so many targets aren't us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of refreshing.
Feels good, man.
And it hits it and does damage to a bugbear out there. Zelen.
You
I'm
hear a
gonna-
Wilhelm scream in the distance.
I'm going to throw a dart
At
at the lizard.
Okay.
19.
hits.
Nice.
Kills the bugbear instead. Goes, oh, I thought the lizard was our mutual ally.
And I do 7 points of damage.
Awesome.
Nice.
I guess I said, mutual foe. Like,
Yeah.
bugbear, lizard.
Yeah.
Who are we fighting with?
Which one is it?
The enemy of my enemy is the enemy I kill last.
Okay.
And Zelma's at the bottom of the round. Jacob.
Nice. All right. Rolling a natural 20 again.
Here it
Attacking
comes.
lizard.
Yeah. Prognostication.
Loving the energy.
Not quite. 19 though to hit.
Hits.
Cool. And it is now below its hit point maximum.
Yes, it is.
So I'm rolling almost essentially the exact same thing that I rolled for that crit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Are you taking a bonus action to? Yeah. You
Oh, yeah,
transferred
yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
I think I said that last time, didn't
Yeah,
I?
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
10, 17, 21 points of damage.
Wow.
Nice.
I rolled well.
Yeah.
Yes, very.
I
very
slow to
well.
a trot now that it's just collapsed and dead. But I will use my move action to engage and then standard to attack.
All right.
Or rather, action to attack.
Okay, go.
Can you tell what I learned first? Okay, 16 versus armor class.
Armor class is 14.
Nice. For 9 points of damage.
It takes the damage, and it is still combative.
Mm-mm. I participated.
Oop, that was me bumping my own mic. The bugbear attempts to attack.
The lizard, I hope.
Yeah. As the thing spins around
Screw
it.
you, this is my kill.
He's just like kicking his legs in
the
its
big
mouth and just
tin
catches
can
you in the
thing.
chin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? We don't even know how since its legs are in its mouth.
And it looks like he actually did damage to the thing.
Good for him.
And then the lizard.
Good
let's
job,
see
little buddy.
Which one it's doing.
You still have your pride. Good for you.
Good for you. I love that.
Yeah, it was best line in that show.
And again, it lashes out with the tail, and of multiple foes, that a 7 is another one of the bugbears and not one of you guys. But it looks like the
one of
bugbear
me.
dodged out of the way of it, and then we're at Zelen.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself because if it can attack anybody, I'm really low.
Well, we're at a safer distance.
Yeah,
away.
you two are far away.
You guys are back.
I had to
all
take
right.
2
Unless
move
it's the
actions
Mr.
to-
Fantastic of Lizards. That tail's not hitting
All right,
us.
then I'm going to throw
it
another
actually
dart.
detaches its tail, and it goes
What is it, a
cartwheeling.
crawling claw?
Mage hand.
So you
and
see you're
I'm throwing
the
another
dart.
dart.
Okay, throw the dart.
Oh, yeah, and it's an 8.
Yeah, so you hear this clink on Boris's armor. Yeah.
Sorry, Boris.
I'll remember that for later.
Jacob, said the paladin.
All right, yeah.
Well, it doesn't mean that I'm just remembering it to
Oh.
repair my armor.
Shooting it again. Aw, 13.
Misses.
Do I have a matching clink on the other pauldron now? I want to stay balanced. I don't want to turn off my game.
Tink. I'll remember. Tink, stop it.
Guys,
Quit it.
seriously. I have
like-
to repair this.
That's the lizard.
From 100
I'm
feet
not.
away, we're like tapping him on the shoulder. Making him look.
Boris, you're up.
Yeah, let's actually hit something this time.
Hey, technically we did.
Let's hit
The
not
right
me.
thing.
The enemy.
16 versus armor class.
Hits.
Nice.
I seem to be rolling a lot of 13s today. 13 more points.
And that kills it.
Nice.
Yes.
Well done. Yeah, that was what was that 7d12 giant subterranean lizard.
Would it be inappropriate if I took a moment and gathered up my darts?
No, it wouldn't be. But
No.
let's just
I'll run up with Boris.
let me
since he's
yeah,
right next to the
narrate
bugbear.
with
Yeah, have a
Okay.
kind of a
thing.
standoff with the guy and the thing I
the
killed in the
actual
mouth.
the actual next the next action, if we were still like in melee, because you potentially are,
Yeah.
was with the bugbear chief at the very next round after Boris slew the thing. He extricates himself. Other bugbears move up, and they look as though they're just closing to attack all of you guys.
All right, I can fight some more.
Yeah, I'm at full hit points right now.
Yeah, right.
I can keep going.
I've
for
still
it.
got a 20 armor class.
I can do this all day. I'm not even sweating. But then,
Well, given we're in the mountains, it's probably quite comfortable.
the chief himself stops everything. He puts his arms up to hold them from moving forward, and he says at that point, he says, in common, kind of a broken common, an accented common, but he said, "Stop." And he's looking at you, Boris, as the person that actually delivered the death bow to this thing, as though the rest of the, wherever, like the pokey flying damage that came from a different direction, he wasn't less aware of. But he says, "You saved Chief Gom, Owl Climber." And he looks to all the bugbears around him. "I grant him passage as tribal member, clan member, to pass through our valley."
All right.
And even at that, go ahead and roll. Let's see what that would be, like a perception.
Insight?
Yeah, let's
For
make it an
gauging
insight.
them?
All
Yeah.
of us?
Just him or?
No, all of you.
Okay.
Is this happening?
And I'd imagine as you two are kind of moving up.
Insight 19.
16.
13.
Yeah, so with all those really good rolls, Jacob in particular, you can tell that there are bugbears that are walking up that don't seem to like this chief's idea whatsoever, that this looks like it'd still go very, very badly. Now, that took some time for him to say. If in that time you want to cast a spell or make some other kind of observation, like if you want to do a healing spell, Zelen, like you're saying, you could do that while you're walking up, or if you stop and pick up a dart.
Yeah, if this is going to go south, I would like to heal up just a little bit.
Yeah, it could go sideways, definitely. So take a moment, cast that. That's a D8 and what?
A D8 plus my spellcaster modifier.
I fight the urge to thumb my nose at him. That
Right. But in their tribal custom, that means marry me.
Yeah, right.
So I regained 8 points of damage.
Okay, great. Yeah, just change total. Jacob, anything from you in particular?
No, just kind of keeping an arrow ready in case they.
I knocked 2
Yeah,
arrows in
I
your-
haven't sheathed the sword yet.
Yeah, everything is still in a very combative state.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
And-
just preparing.
And yeah, as I'm gathering darts, I'm not.
Not just putting them all back in the holster. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are any of them making more of an effort to even move forward during all this?
Yeah, one comes forward. He wasn't the one that was injured. He was one that this thing, the lizard's tail, was lashing out toward, but then jumped back at that moment. He has promoted himself, physically, and as he's approaching this guy who named himself as Gom, Owl Climber, Gom
What
said,
a name.
Yeah,
Right.
Gom, I love that. Actually,
I meant more the owl climber bit.
oh. Right. Does he fly away with them afterwards? How does that
right.
work exactly?
Are they shoes?
But
How big's
Gom
this owl?
says, Urgir, clever teacher, speak your piece. That was the guy that was disagreeing to the whole thing a moment ago.
Interesting surnames.
And he says, for him to be clan, even temporary clan, and do another insight when he says temporary clan.
15.
Same.
16.
Yeah, so all of you are
Sorry.
about the same with that. You get the implication that like temporary clan status has an implication, something about it that might actually mean we don't eat you until tomorrow.
Yeah, we're
That-
honoring not tonight's dinner.
it seems very, when they talk about temporary, they mean really, really
You
temporary.
funny man, I kill you last.
Yeah, kind of like that. But this guy, this other one is there, this Urgir, clever teacher, he said, unless their champion completes the challenge of Jasserat, then we kill them now.
All right.
And
Does that name mean anything to any of us?
Yeah.
yeah, do any kind of a knowledge check or a
Arcana,
language
maybe?
check. Arcana, you can give that one a try too.
Guess
I can
history?
shoot for arcane.
11.
Yeah.
3.
6.
Yeah, so no, none of you guys have any idea what that's about. You all scratch your head, look at each other, waiting for the one that has the light bulb go off, but
Okay.
light bulbs haven't
Yes,
been
our
invented.
champion will complete your task. And I look at Boris.
I'm game.
And then with you looking over at Boris, Urgir nods his head as though, yeah, that selection's okay. He did kill the lizard after all. And Gom even says, follow. You will complete the challenge of Jasserat, or we will have Zos Elk Runner and Sug Quick Chaser slit your throats right now.
Very well.
No one seems to be interested in you guys sheathing your weapons. Like they're totally fine with you guys carrying your weapons.
Yeah.
But they don't like let you just follow them. They wait until you all move forward.
Right. Yeah.
And if you gather any other, like another dart here, you know,
Yeah.
as you're moving forward, like zigzagging to get to where these darts have fallen. I would think the narrowness of this tunnel, the areas of yours that missed Jacob would have all just been shattered against a wall. That was
Yeah,
just
probably.
too confined to space. So be sure to mark those arrows down.
Or we're gonna find one sticking out of Kevin over on the other side of the village. Or rather,
Without
sorry,
the tunnel.
Kevin Rabbit Kicker.
So as you guys get out into the open air, you can see that a little bit of the road does continue, but then it looks like either an earthquake or a landslide at some point has broken it up, and there's a lot of the same kind of stone that makes up the road that's almost rubble-like leading out of it. But the cliff face that jumps up right behind you, like where the tunnel enters from this side, it's in a very rugged, broken kind of a like shale kind of rock with a lot of places that you could, you know, camping overnight, you know, lay in, and obviously this lizard was laying in wait up inside one of these things to jump down inside.
Can we see the impact of the explosion? I mean, did that have an impact on this side of the?
Oh,
Well, that was like a mile in.
Oh, that's true.
So
Yeah,
unless
so-
it, ripped the peak
Yeah,
off.
but
of something.
still not a bad question. But no, you don't actually see anything you would say was definitely attributed to that.
Okay.
And they start leading you to, like, your right as you're exiting the tunnel, and you're following that cliff face around. And while they're leading, Gom, talking mostly to Boris particularly, and again, is not bothered by your weapons being out. And he says that you shall climb the Owl Cliff. And as you're looking at this guy, you note that he has a couple of feathers tied to him in different points,
Yeah,
like one
braided
from his
into
hair.
hair.
Yeah, one like to the leather armor that he's wearing. It's tied to that as well. And as you're looking at him, you can see that he has big scars, mostly on his head, but also on his shoulders, where it looks like he's been, like something's hit him from
Yeah,
up high a
clawing at on
number of
top.
times. Yeah. And he says, you must climb the Owl Cliff, and you will hang by the promontory of clear brown rock, and then proceed. And again, you're walking as you're saying this, and then proceed to the owl's nest. Take a feather, and you can, as you're getting closer, you can see that there are multiple like nest-like structures. It's like a beaver dam up on top of the
So
different
big
points of this
nests.
cliff. Big nests. Take a feather, fight off its guardian owl, and then return.
Very well.
And after just a 4 or 5 minute walk around the edge of this cliff, and all the other bugbears, and there's more and more of them, they're coming around, none getting too close. And the guy that seems to be, I don't know, call him a competitor, maybe, this Ergir clever teacher, the one that said, no, they've got to go through this thing.
Right.
He stays very close by, but on the other side of Gom from you, Boris. That he wants to be near wherever this is all happening.
So I'm guessing he's a competitor.
Gotcha. Are they expecting it to happen
yeah,
now, or are they?
Well, it seems pretty now.
Yeah, they seem like it, yeah.
In kind of his discussion, did he mention anything about particular rules, use of spells, that kind of stuff?
He hasn't, but you could definitely ask him if you wanted to.
Yeah, how to word it. Is there anything forbidden in this competition?
Forbidden? No, there's nothing forbidden.
All right.
So that gives me an idea, but I want to do it privately. So I ask Boris, Boris, isn't it part of your tradition to pray quietly before completing a challenge? And I'm giving him very significant looks.
Like a wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah. So I'll turn to Gom. I must call on my god before performing this.
Call on whomever you wish.
Yeah. So I'll withdraw from the crowd.
And I'm gonna. Boris, I'll act as your assistant for it.
So when they walk away for that, I go up there and I'll just continue asking questions and just kind of point over there so they have nothing to maybe feel like it was unfair or anything additional, if they even begin to care
keep
about
them
that.
occupied.
Okay, good. So as you're doing that too, Jacob, you're looking up and you can see the cliff face varies in height from about 60 feet up to 100 feet, somewhere in there. And you can see there's different promontory pieces of a very brown rock that's coming up out of it. Like there was something else there, and it's a jagged remains, the way that this rock's sitting there.
Oh, interesting.
But there are different points along this cliff face. And you recall that Gom was saying to Boris that you have to climb to a point and hang as though like free fall, or not free fall, but free hang from one of these promontory pieces, and then proceed up as though you've got to be like brave and daring and not have like 3 points of contact or standing on a ledge, but you're hanging. But you can see there's a number of points, any number of routes that could take a person up to the top. The climb doesn't look particularly difficult. It's just that you get way up there and you slip. It's a bad day.
Yeah.
So does it look natural? Does it look like it had man-made structures?
I'll come back over and I'll share what I observed, but I feel like from that
you can relay those observations once we return, so that way you're
So
them
this is all happening at the same time.
Yeah,
so
that makes the most sense.
Wait for that to come back.
So,
but wait, do a what would that be then? Probably an investigation. You're absolutely looking for something that way.
15 investigation. Yeah.
As you look up there and you're trying to pick out a route, you do note some things that could be natural formations of rock, but it looks like you can spy lines, like there was a corner that was actually worked stone, but there's so little of it left, maybe a piece of a right angle, that you can imagine that might have actually been some sort of a constructed structure one time, but it's long since collapsed. Just hints of it remain.
I hold on to that until I see them walking back over, and I'll go over and meet them.
Okay, gotcha.
I have a spell. It will make you move like a spider.
This is you talking to Boris?
I'm talking to Boris, yeah. So when we're alone, it'll make you move like a spider. You'll be able to go up these rocks and have your hands free. When you get to the top, if whatever owl or whatever creature is up there, it will keep you on the rocks while you fight.
Yeah, that'd be great. And
so does you have to have like all four like arms and legs touching, or is it like
says
just
until the
legs?
spell ends, one willing creature you touch gains the ability to move up, down, across vertical surfaces, and upside down along ceilings while leaving its hands free.
Wow.
So I'm just walking.
You're just walking
The
up.
target also gains.
Oh, that's gonna freak these guys out.
Yeah, so while they want you to like be hanging from this cliff, he just walks up and he's upside down.
Yeah, nothing said you had to hang by your hands. So he's hanging by his toes.
Tighten your boots.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
The
really.
target also gains a climbing speed equal to its own walking speed.
Actually,
Oh,
funny you
nice.
mentioned that because I feel like part of it actually, he might have to take his footwear off.
Doesn't say.
It doesn't say?
Yeah,
Okay.
So
So we'll call that a no.
Yeah.
But that'd be funny if you actually you're walking up there and you remember that you're wearing like penny loafers.
Yeah, right.
It's like, your shoes are up there.
So I'm going to. I mean, we're in an area
Yeah,
easily.
so
What's the duration?
kneel to pray.
1 hour.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'll kneel to pray and go through my own religious ritual
Right,
while I'm
and
at it.
I'm gonna capture a small spider and hold it in one hand while I place my other hand on the center of your back, and I'm gonna say Black Widow's Walk.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And now I got magic
yeah, it's just
toes.
a standard action casting, right?
It is.
Yeah.
One action is the time. Sorry.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
range is
one
touch.
action. Perfect.
Right.
Then, so she's done that. You're
All right,
aware
yeah.
of it. And
Nice.
at about the same time, it isn't Gom. It's Urgir, clever teacher. He says, enough praying. Enough, begin. Or
All right.
we'll slit throats.
Yeah, so I walk over, I share what I observed.
We move up adjacent to you.
Okay, so I share what I observed about that, and then I just like very like quickly aside
hand
to
off shield and sword to one of the two of you.
as I'm
backpack to
taking
the
it from
other.
you, I lean in and I say, "Grab more than just the one feathers. I have an idea."
All right, I'll see what I can do.
So you said you hand off shield and sword?
Yeah, and backpack.
Wait a minute, sword? Don't you want your sword up there? What if you got to fight the thing?
Yeah, I'll hang on to the sword. Yeah,
So sheathed or in hand?
sheathed.
Okay.
I mean, and you technically you don't
He
need
doesn't-
your
yeah, it doesn't
shield.
have to
You
be,
can
yeah.
just use your feet. You don't.
Oh, very
Yeah, just
true.
dunk, 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 and just walk right
Yeah,
up.
so I'll just keep my whole gear. Yeah.
I'll take your backpack. I don't think you need your backpack.
Yeah, hand off the pack then.
Well, and as you do that, you have your sword in one hand, your shield in the other one. Bugbears are already starting to laugh that this guy, that there's no way that they're getting their knives ready. They're kind of like sawing them against like sticks and branches and whatnot, sharpening it on a rock they just picked up, because obviously you're not going to make it up there, let alone get a feather.
And then the second step.
Yeah, so as you have your one leg out straight in front of you and it touches the wall and they're laughing, and then your body reorients and you're now like the second step, you are
just
you
kind
are
of casually
parallel to the
jogging up
ground,
the wall.
perpendicular to the face of the cliff. Then it just gets quiet, like from all these bugbears.
Yeah.
They have never seen anything like that before. Then you start just walking up the wall. There's gasps all around, and there's a surge of them. They all took 5 or 10 feet backward and then kind of moved back up again. They were so stunned and startled that was happening as you just proceed to walk up
I'm
the
gonna
wall.
start up the cliff face.
So and I look around like, yeah, we're with him.
We can all do that. You want me to go too?
Heading up to the the.
So tell me this: do you go to? There's different heights of cliffs, up 60 or 100. Do you do one particular height? Like which one do you want to go up, or what area to go up? If you want to have your whatever your impact is, or just task completion.
Would any of the information I gave him give him some sort of an insight as which might be better?
Yeah.
Yeah, there probably isn't a better. It's just a matter if he wants
It's
to
doing the thing.
show off
How
more.
much do you want to impress them?
Well, I want to impress them, but not humiliate them.
Right.
That if I
Yeah.
climb up to the peak this way and stand on their highest point and
Doing
go,
a little jig.
my glory, then
Starts flossing.
they might kind
So
of
he
get kinda
bugbear
pissed
God,
off. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
we kill them.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like, oh, you insult the gods. We're gonna add you to the stew anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Forget tradition.
Yeah, so probably to the nearest of those clear rock outcroppings.
Okay, yeah. So that pass will take you to one of the lower points when it comes to the height of the cliff where the nest
Sure.
is. Yeah, but you get up to it. It is no problem for you to get right up to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And do you invert yourself?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm supposed to hang from it. So yeah, I'll hang from it and then kind of continue up and over it.
Yeah. So as you're doing that, let's do a knowledge. You say knowledge religion, like that's the thing.
Just a straight religion check.
Straight
or-
religion
okay.
check. Yeah.
14.
You recognize that as you invert yourself, even with your boots on, that you are now standing on, well, it's like a brown quartz. That
Okay.
it's the exact same kind of stuff, a smoky quartz. That is the exact same stuff that the
That
lizards themselves
were
were in down there before.
Ah.
And as you are in contact with that, you have a flash of insight that seems both natural and spiritual at the same time, as though this was part of a greater complex, an older
There used to be
something
more
place.
here.
But you're also aware of ascensions as you are
Oh.
in touch with this stone.
I wonder if there's something more to the lizards then, or if there were other things contained in the quartz.
Yeah, we can't help you. We're still
Yeah,
down.
no,
We're
I'm
still
just
downstairs.
speculating.
Yeah. So
Um,
as you invert yourself, then,
go back over,
Yeah.
so then I'm vertical and walking towards the cliff again.
And even before that, as you are upside down, because it says to hang from it, what they have always seen in their culture is someone climbs to that point and they hang with just by their arms from one of these points of rock,
Mm-hmm.
and then have to reacquire their hold on the cliff to go up. So that's one of those critical moments where Bugbear might go splat.
Right, yeah.
I want to take an insight on Gorham's reaction to this and see if he's
Yeah,
good
go ahead and
idea.
roll that. That'd be great.
16.
Gom is stunned, and you can also gauge with that nice high roll that he might be a little fearful that he's about to be replaced as the actual chief of these people. That this thing happening, because he is Gom Owl Climber, and you probably get an idea of where his name is, and he carries multiple feathers on him, and he is being completely outshined by this guy who just inverts himself.
And that's why we don't go to the top.
And so as you inverted yourself, Boris, and got right there is a collective gasp from all these brutish creatures that don't gasp at anything, that they are so completely stunned you're upside down. And then you just walk off that part and keep going up the rock. So you did what it was said to do, and then you proceed up there too. So then it's quiet, absolutely quiet again. But you do get the idea, Jacob, that Gom is looking for, like, who does he attack first? Who would he need to knock down first to make sure he can reassert his control if this whole thing just goes sideways?
All right,
so you're very of that.
I prepare to be ready for...
Yeah, so should you and I try to, if we can, casually, gently make our way so that our backs are to the walk wall? So if this goes south, we're not surrounded.
Well, I want to make my way towards... Gom, is that how you say it?
Gom, yeah.
It's near him, because if a fight does ensue, at least for that time period of time, he'll be fighting probably on the same side as us if we're helping defend him.
Well, roll a secondary insight then.
On the table might be better. 17.
It looks like he's keeping a very close eye on Urgir, clever teacher, but then there's another
Who's
one.
also on the cliff, right?
No, he's not climbing.
Oh, okay.
No, he's not climbing. You're climbing yourself.
All right.
And there's another one who's yet been unnamed, who also seems to be just off of Urgir's elbow, like he's right there to act if he needs to.
Gotcha.
So those are the ones that seem like most likely the problem.
Prepare an action. I'm not pulling the bow or anything. I still have it drawn, but if anything goes sideways, one of the first things I'm going to do is just like, if they make any sort of an aggressive movement, just fire an arrow straight at that guy, not at Urgir, but at the guy right next to him.
The other one got it.
That is sidekick.
And you were saying something, Zelen, about positioning yourself?
Yeah, that I'd like to move so that I could easily spin and put my back to the wall, to the cliff wall, so they couldn't surround me.
Easily done.
I'm also going to look to see if there's a way that I could cast Entangle so I could take out maybe a portion of them or slow down a portion
Probably
of them.
plenty of grasses and
yeah,
roots
that's
and
what I
things.
would think too. But just so that I could kind of just think through and prepare it.
Yeah, you're very aware that you guys had to walk through trees to get to this point.
Okay.
And there is like wild grass, knee-high grass all over the place. Some of these guys were even like kind of sawing their knives on tree branches as they're waiting on you guys. So there is all kinds of coverage, cover all around.
Okay,
Boris,
back
as you get
to the main event.
as you get further and further up, you're
approaching
walking
the
there.
nest. Yeah,
There's got to be something in your own perception of height.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of it freaks you out too that you're doing it.
Well, yeah, and then I'm just standing upside down on a promontory of rock with a good 40, 50-foot drop over my head.
Right, and then it's like as you
I'm pretty sure my
up,
mom told me not to do this kind of thing.
Didn't I get in trouble for this one time when I was a little kid? And you're probably saying things to yourself like, trust in Uko.
Yeah, no, I'm probably praying
I'll
the
make
whole
it to the
time.
top. Trust in Uko, make it to the top.
Yeah, right.
And as you get closer and closer to the top and you're seeing more and more of the nest itself, just out of your field of view from down below, and really it's only been in your view as you're getting very, very close to the top, you can see that there is an owl in this nest.
Oh, okay.
So as you get to the point where either you're like perfectly or sticking out from the wall itself,
Right.
you might want to change your positioning so your head's closer to it. Do you see what I mean? It's a weird orientation as you're perpendicular to the wall.
Yeah, it is probably something akin to kind of a sit-up that I'm orienting to just kind of stand back up, because it's not like I have to kind of go over like shoulder first.
Right.
It's just, a step. It's just a change of orientation.
Yeah, just to orientate yourself. Yeah.
Probably in that arc, I'll just be upright on top.
And just give me an athletics check for that. Not that you would ever fall or anything with this spell going.
Yeah, just how cleanly.
Yeah, the maneuver itself.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah, not a problem. So you do that. It's well within your physical ability. And as you're doing that, this owl is looking at you like it's ready to strike.
Yeah.
But roll an insight. You're seeing something else in it at the same time.
17.
It has the expression, the way that owls do, and you went about ancient peoples and what they associated to an owl.
Right.
Like it also wants to ask you a question. But then you also note that this nest itself is built on smoky quartz.
I'm going to sheath my sword and speak to it in Celestial.
As you sheath your sword, its posturing seems to relax. And in Celestial, what do you say in Celestial?
Wise one, ruler of the night air, I mean you no harm or disrespect. I need your feathers to pass through this land and pay my respects to the throne of Indara.
And as you finish that, you guys are hearing him speak in that language. He's probably used like a few words once or twice. But
did you prepare that?
generally,
Was that up top of your head? Because that was cool.
that's Victor.
Yeah.
It responds to you and says, "You're a servant of Uko?"
I am.
Yeah, and that's kind of a freak out thing right there too. But it's also speaking Celestial.
Ah, handy.
And it says, "Why do you seek to join a bugbear clan?"
I don't seek to join them. I seek to pass through their territory.
"I seek to destroy them because they are a pollution upon this place, because the stone remembers what this place once was. A feather allows you to go through?
Yes.
Knight of Uko?
Yes.
It bends its body around, picks one of its own tail feathers, pulls the thing out, reorients itself, and extends its shoulders, neck to you, offering you that feather.
I take it. Thank you.
If you are truly changing this area, and these bugbears are allowing you to go through, you could be in a position to help me regain what my people once had.
However I can.
We are the Donalar, the wise ones.
I will remember your name.
And I'll remember Boris Kirsanov."
Hey, you didn't give it its last name. It knows who you are.
And it actually does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is anything happening down
in
here?
In the back of your mind, you do recall what Jacob had said.
Yeah. Are there feathers just kind of on like the ground around this nest?
Yeah, there are feathers in the nest, yeah.
Would you grant me more feathers? My an ally of mine seeks to craft arrows of a greater quality and hopes your feathers, your blessed feathers, would be of aid to that.
Only if they are directed toward and help to guide the shafts of arrows that would fight the enemies of Uko.
Of course.
Gather what you need.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so I will gather, a few more handfuls of feathers.
Yeah, roll 2d20.
$26.
There you are.
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's what I've observed. These feathers are meaningful. If you come back down with a bouquet of feathers,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Hopefully, hides
this could be
a
a problem.
Yeah,
so I'm going to prepare myself because Boris might not have had a chance to observe all this. I'm going to prepare myself that when you get off the mountain, I'm going to run and hug you and whisper in your ear, "Hide the rest."
Yeah, I was already thinking to that line.
Okay.
Because
good.
They're the tribal totems, so I'll put the extra in like a belt pouch or
you could like stuff them between your
into
armor and your
my
jerkin.
armor. Yeah.
And you said we were able to hear we couldn't understand the conversation, but we could hear.
Right, but you could hear you speaking Celestial, and there was another
voice
voice
Yeah.
responding.
Are the bugbears reacting in any way?
Oh
to
yeah,
that?
the whole time.
Okay.
It would be a little bit like if there's like a thunder in a cloud, and a voice says,
keeping that prepped action,
Arthur, King of Britons,
ready for thing to go sideways in case anything changes.
Yeah. So I will stuff those feathers into armor pouches, however, to conceal them.
Yeah, done.
So that I've only got the one in hand when I return.
Yeah, the one that it plucked out and gave to you. Okay. Yeah, so they can't see over the edge of that to see you gathering those things and sticking them in there. It's just too far over the lip. So you should be okay with that.
All right.
But another insight, Jacob and Zelen, if you want to as well.
Ooh, 7.
21.
Zelen, it looks to you like Ergir, clever teacher, even he, like whatever was in his face before, like I can use this in some way to make a bid for power. It almost like he's lost that.
Okay.
Because this has been too weird that, to go up there and battle the owls. Again, it's one of those moments where you can imagine Bugbear get knocked off top of cliff and bounce on the ground. And yet this thing got up there, this guy encased in metal, and talks to one of those, and it responds. Okay. Even he is like, no. Okay. That if I challenge Gom in this, with that guy, with Gom's blessing, it would be the wrong time for a power play. So it seems like, if anything, things at the moment are a little de-escalated.
Okay. I am still thinking that when he gets off this cliff, we need to just get out of here. This seems too tenuous.
I think a show
and
of respect to Gom might go a long way.
That's a great idea.
We make him like we regard him as an ally, and knowing that if he's the one in charge here, maybe things won't go that way south. And if we come back and things have gone over that way, we have our justification to then just level the entire
We
tribe.
have some amethyst chips. I wonder if they would have any interest in the amethyst chips.
Interesting point.
Okay.
So before there, you get that stuff packed away, Boris, and you're about to go down. And then again, this owl speaks to you in Celestial, and he gives you a little more information and says, I am Rashwan. I'm a prince of the Donalar. Look, Knight of Uko, toward the southwest. And as you do,
to see.
He says, you see the cleft in the rock?
I do.
And you see where it's at the edge of that hogback ridge? Beyond that is the Gate of the Ages and the throne of Endara.
Thank you, my lord.
He just nods to you.
And I'll descend.
Yeah, quite easily.
Are you whistling while you're...
I moonwalk down the mirror.
No, because that'd make me need a dex check.
Good point.
And as you're coming down to the bottom, there is a murmur that's gone through, and more bugbears are showing up to this. You're seeing, like, through the trees, from your perspective, Boris, more and more gathering from different points as the word's gone out to this. From your perspective, both Jacob and Zelen, it looked there's a wall of bugbears from behind the bugbears. It's like, oh crap, there's probably a good 80 of them, maybe even more at this point. It is quite the war party.
If I've noticed the de-escalation of tension, I'm going to try to get towards Jacob so that he and I could have, if we could possibly have a whispered conversation where we can say, let's offer some of the amethyst shifts, something, and let's get out of here.
I'm standing right next to Gorm, so I don't know. Or not Gorm, Gorm.
Gom.
I'm standing right next to Gom, so I don't know if that's where
Maybe
you want to
I
have the conversation.
I hug you like, oh, he did it, and I hug you so I could whisper in your ear.
You're a huggy person today.
I am a huggy person.
Hugs leans over. Let's get the out of here.
Exactly.
That's easily done. And honestly, Gom, just like everybody else,
is a little preoccupied.
Is really preoccupied by this. This is like just the most incredible event they've ever seen in their entire lives.
Yeah, I'll prep with that. I'll grab one of the shards of amethyst out of my bag. I had 9 of them.
Yeah. And then within a couple, 3 minutes, Boris has again reached the ground. And as both feet touch the ground, and you obviously have the feather in tow, there is a roar that goes up from all of them that for a moment you're all like ready to pull weapons. And then as that roar continues for a moment, you realize that even though you are potential food to them or definitely thing to be killed, that in this moment, and they might still want to kill you in a future moment, but in this moment, they're giving you the only way they know how to praise, and that's by roaring like they would as they're running into combat.
What's the reaction of the two iffy-looking characters? Are they also cheering, or are they...
Yeah, they're part of it too.
Okay.
They can't help but recognize that this is not something they could stand against tribally. Yeah. So it's too big.
Walk towards Gom with the feather.
Yeah, and as you promote that feather like that, he examines it, sniffs the thing, looks at the actual like, tip of the quill, and he turns to them and speaks in Bugbear, and a roar goes up again. And as he turns back to you...
Either of you speak Goblin, because I don't.
No.
Where is that written?
Yeah, I wouldn't know on that sheet.
Features and traits, languages spoken.
Nope. That... What he turns to you and then translates his own statement from a moment ago, that this wasn't found, it wasn't laying, that they can tell by the tip of the quill this was plucked. Now they don't know that it plucked it out itself. They assume that you did, but they heard you speaking to it. And as he does that, he pulls a little piece of cording off of his kind of tattery looking leather armor clothes, ties it around the end of that, and just takes like a projection of your own armor, something near the shoulder, and ties it to that, like a loop and an exposed piece of metal or chain, ties it through. So this feather's hanging off of you, and yells out to the people and says, the challenge of Jasserat is complete. They are tribal clan. And they're already talking about, you can hear in both common, and then it breaks into their own language, that they're trying to figure out the proper name for this. both of the event and potentially you or the three of you, that this has never happened before. Actions.
Yeah.
I'll take
probably find the two of them. Time to go.
Yeah, I take the piece of amethyst that I got out, probably one that the most easily could be turned into a pendant, and I'll present it to Gom and just say, we regard you for this time as a friend and ally. When we return, present this to us so we know that things are still running well here.
And again, he looks at the amethyst and raises it up and says a number of words in Bugbear, and a roar goes up all over again. And again, he takes another piece of that cordage from his own garment and ties it around it, like wraps it like in 3 different directions, loops it off, and now is it hanging from his person too. Lot of respect there. A lot of built respect there.
Let's go.
Yeah, time to go.
And we skedaddle.
And thanks, goodbye.
Yeah.
So what direction do you take them in, Jacob?
I'll relay what I learned about the Cleft and point it out to them. That's the direction to go.
Okay, so do your survival.
Gotcha. Am I?
Oh, now you rolled a natural 20.
I was about to ask if I'm in my favorite terrain, but it doesn't matter.
And you are. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool. So 27.
See if you got a double crit.
It's not advantage, just an additional +2, I think.
Okay.
You can tell by the slope of the land. Once Boris points out to you like the direction of this cleft, and you're looking at the lay of the ground, you can see that there is what's tantamount to a rampart that's about 200 feet away along the side of the cliff. And as you get to that area, you can see this must have been a cut piece of road. Some point in the past, much narrower than the road that you were on before.
Right.
But this will take you up there in the direction of that of that cleft itself.
Yeah, and we go that just
not running, but moving at traveling pace.
Mm-hmm.
So as you reach to the bottom of this rampart, you see the broken remains of one of those milestones. And you realize this is part of that same road, but it's very narrower. You wouldn't want to take a cart on this one. This it might not be the main road, but it was definitely part of the whatever road structure they had. And you go ahead onto this. So roll the survival. You're just making sure there's Jacob, your survival.
11.
Yeah, so as you're taking them up there, you can see there's different spots where it's collapsed. Collapses above have worn things through. But it looks like you should be pretty unimpeded, if you're careful in those moments, to go up. And you think it's going to probably take you not just like the rest of the day, but maybe even overnight to get through, till you get to the pass that would take you up out of this valley.
Gotcha. So we'll get a good distance away from the camp we were just at, so that way no regular patrols would still see us.
And catch us.
And then get a moment to get our squishy party member back to
I forget.
Full power and
Thank
property.
you.
What were you down to at the lowest?
At the lowest, I was down to, I think, like 11.
Okay, yeah. So you still had some juice in you.
Yeah, but that's a lot gone.
You've also noticed tactically that it'd be very difficult for a bugbear to attack you once you've gone up this rampart ways, say about 500 feet, because the drop off to the one side becomes too steep and too sheer.
Right.
And so the further up you go, if there are foes, either they've got to come some long circly way away, or someone doesn't know what's going on coming back into this valley. If it's anybody that is aware you have this very special feather,
right? Yeah.
If they were to come after you, then they'd have to come up that rampart, and it's like just one direction they can come from.
Right.
We'll do just that, and we'll get to the get to that point, and we'll start to set up for camp.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
and I think we could do a lit camp.
Yeah.
I think we're reasonably safe in the region. And so, taking off armor, I'll show the 26 feathers I was able to retrieve.
Even before that, you guys have hiked for about 3 hours, and you're up this, so you feel you're well out of that. You're heading up through this mountain pass, and the valley is disappearing behind you. That way at the periphery of your vision, you see 2 bugbears that are way down the ramp, but they come to a stop. And you can barely make it out at the distance, but you can tell that they are holding up white feathers. Like they have gone through the thing and they've held up a white feather. And they're kind of pumping their arm up in the air with that white feather.
Yeah, probably signal back.
Yeah, so as you do the same thing. So,
but he's holding a bouquet.
Victor held up his hand that same way. So as Boris tells that back, you hear them both just 2 things from a distance. They
distant
roar, and then they go trotting back down the thing again. And so...
Kids.
But that also
it's like the
that
arm pump for a semi truck.
That gained kind of, but it gained power for them. It was a thing that they did.
Yeah,
in
they
their
were
own culture.
acknowledged.
But you're about to say then about taking the rest of these feathers out.
Probably at that point, so they don't get crimped or whatever. I'd take armor off or partially off and retrieve the 26 that I got for you.
Awesome, yeah. And I'll spend some of the time while we're there
Once
tonight
we're
just
camped.
like studying them and
Cleaning
prepping
and
them to be
preparing,
used for fletching.
So once I hear from you about this,
Yeah, I'd share the
owl,
whole experience.
Yeah, I'm going to ask if I can have one because it might. I don't know yet. I haven't, but it might help in my druid growth to have
honestly.
a feather like this.
Yeah, from the prince of a race of sentient owls.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
don't know
like a
what
great
it could
idea.
do, but maybe I could, if I wrote with it,
Yeah,
it
or
would
just
do.
kept it
I
as
don't
a
know,
focus.
stirred
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure. So
All right.
you take one of those, so you
Yeah.
write that down. You have the other 25, and you've given those 25 to Jacob.
Yep.
And let's just say too that you guys hike to a point where like, okay, let's be done for the day. It's at 5 or 6 o'clock. We set up a camp. Zelen, you said you could make it a lit camp. There are places periodically, Jacob, where there's wider spots that really could be for a traveler to stop and can not just sit on this narrow little trail.
And we're tired of Boris running up every tree just because he can for the last hour.
Yeah, like,
Favorite terrain? Come on.
No, I wouldn't.
so you've gone through the day.
For the whole hour.
Jacob, you get the idea that tomorrow morning, if you guys are camping down, definitely for the night, tomorrow morning, you should be able to, if you get a start by about 6, by 10, you should be like over the peak of this, the gap that's at the very top of this pass, and then start descending back into the Brimroar hills that are on that side.
Gotcha, yeah. So,
So you guys lit camp.
Mhm.
Are you still setting watches?
Yeah, I still would, just in case.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree.
great. And then through the night, it is a clear night. There's no encounter, and no more bugbears have apparently approached you guys either for joining in that power or to take the feather away from you.
Yeah, they're probably uproariously drunk.
Whatever they do. Yeah, they went off and murdered some village of kobold somewhere because that's like a big day for them.
You know,
Gotcha. So,
however you get drunk, everybody has their way.
and I guess I'll have spent probably some of the night or part of my watch using those arrows just to prep. I think it's three feathers per arrow, so I'll have
Correct.
time to have made 8 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Right.
just have 8 arrows fletched
So,
with owl feathers.
the feathers are often varying in color, even for like an animal that has mostly one color. So you'd probably keep one that's like the notch arrow because 2 arrows are one color, one's a different color, just so
Yeah.
you know which side the notch is on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can take your time and you've prepared a number of arrows that way. Are you trying to rig out the stingers on any of them yet, or is that for a later date?
I'll wait on that to try and figure out more of what would be the best way to
get more of a facility to be able to do that.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
right now
well-
I have jars and poison, so I guess I could
Right.
soak the arrowheads in that, but they're stones, so I don't necessarily know what they'd be able
Yeah,
to.
we'll have to work
Yeah,
through
right.
that.
Yeah, so I'll have to come up with better ideas.
But fletching them, no problem. As you're
Yeah.
sitting by your campfire, keeping an eye down the trail, up the trail, yeah, you can definitely do that. Next morning, you guys pack your camp up.
Oh, and I'm
You're-
feeling good.
And you're feeling much, much better.
Yeah, right.
Like we
Lots
said,
of
you
lots
won't
of
feel
whatnot.
that pain the next morning. And yeah, you're taking care of your spells
Yeah, sure.
And then
and then heading back
And then-
out.
set out to continue up this path.
All right. So yeah, you continue on and yeah, it's fairly easy breezy getting up the rest of the way up this pass. So 3-4 hours later, you're cresting this in this gap right here in that notch. Boris, look over your shoulder and you can see the line of cliffs that very spot, like the near side of the tunnel,
Sure.
was a particularly higher spot in the Brimroar hills. But actually, it's above the Brimroar. They're kind of jagged as they come up above
Okay.
the surrounding hills. And you can note those spots where all those nests were
Right,
in
yeah.
the jagged line, like teeth, uneven, back behind you. Looking in the opposite direction, toward the southwest, you can see on the horizon, it must be huge. It's a doorway that must be a couple of 100 feet tall, a couple 100 feet wide, and you're seeing sky right through it
Wow.
as it's at the top of a mountain. It must be even close to the slag mark itself. It's still maybe 80, 100 miles away down in that direction. It's a long way away, but you can see it
Yeah.
at these distances, and you know you're looking at the Gate of the Ages. And taking that in and realizing that that's the direction of your quest, that is your goal, and you've made it that far, to witnessing that that is the Gate of the Ages, the 3 of you level up.
Nice.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Empire's Edge. You can listen on YouTube. If you'd like to learn more about the characters and background, go to mattsinkovich.com or theempires.edge.com.